They know everything. They know more than those that can bring forth something they done seen and experienced. Most I say they ain't seen nothing, but they running their mouth. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, that's the ghettos, where where the mass majority of our people are. Neither made up the hedge of the house of Israel, neither made a hedge around us to protect them, to stand in the battle in the day of the Most High. They ain't standing no battle. They somewhere hid off in their houses. Come out on the first day representing Nimrod and Semiramis, representing the sun god and the moon god. They ain't following no Sabbaths. They ain't doing what the Most High is saying, teaching the people that they're Israelites. This is woe to the pastors, the prophets. Verse 6, they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Most High said it, the Most High ain't said nothing. The Most High have not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word, following them. Turn to another and say this, all the way back to the religious instructions to the Negroes of the United States of America. A diabolical plan to have us repeat after me and what you're repeating. Like he said, it's from their own hearts, their own minds. It ain't from this word with understanding. While you're looking at a lot of this, talking about you're going to go to heaven? No. Your name not written in the book of life, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. Because this is who you following, false prophets. Verse 7. Have you not seen a vain vision? And have you not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, the Most High said it, or God said it to me. He told me, albeit I have not spoken. You hear that? God said to me concerning you. Moses said, I ain't spoke to them. I ain't said nothing to them. But our people following it. Remember, he just prayed that there be in darkness. Everything you hear be a trap for you. Therefore, thus say the Most High power, because ye have spoken vanity. You prophets and you pastors out there spoken vanity and seen lies. Talking about the Most High said he ain't said nothing to you. And seeing lies, therefore, behold, I am against you, saith the Most High. Payday is coming. Your payday is coming. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity. There you go. He said, hey, he gonna get you. The prophets that see vanity and that divine lies, you better be, because I mean, only way I can say that you are properly dealing with the Most High is at least going by his word. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, and you would be bringing what we as the Israelites are bringing forth. This understanding. Or you got people that's going to follow you that's going to be thrown in a lake of fire. That's why he's saying, woe to you. Verse 9, and mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people. He gonna get rid of you. Say they would not be in the assembly of my people. Neither shall they be written in the writings of the house of Israel. What you think that is? The book of life. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You gonna know this. He's telling you this. I mean, you go on and on, or he's telling them. Concerning you turning our people into robots and robotees, and their name not going to be written in the book of life. Look, first you just look at just keeping the laws of the Most High. That particular aspect, which is so important, and let Shai tell you, Matthew 5:17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. He said he ain't come to destroy, but to fulfill. That's what he came to do. Fulfill what? St. John 7:39. Well, let's read 49. But this people who knoweth not the law are cursed. Okay? This is St. John 4:79. But this people, pastors, prophets, those out there in these demon nations, I just say you just move the end of denominations, the N to the M to the N. You got demon in nations. That's what they're dealing with. But you don't really recognize, like you don't recognize Santa Claus is Satan's cause. Has nothing to do with Mashiach Yahushua, because he wasn't born on December 25th. But you following suit of those that have put it in your face. You just got to think and not let your mind be in darkness so much, ignorance and not knowing, analyzing things. Hear what it said? But this people who knoweth not the law are cursed. They cursed. So now, because the Mashiach said, hey, think not that I am come to destroy the law in Matthew 5:17, or the prophets. That's the Old Testament. That's all he had to go by. Show me where Mashiach read when he was in the flesh on the earth, the book of Revelations, or Paul's writings, or Peter or James, or Timothy, or any books of the New Testament, besides the law and the prophets. That's all you had to go by. So if you don't know the law and the prophets, you ain't rolling with a Mashiach. Yahushua, come on. He said, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Till all be fulfilled. Look at Ecclesiasticus 33. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 33, and we're going to read verse 2 and 3. A wise man hateth not the law. Here it say, a wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. It's all over the place. A man of understanding trusteth in the law. A man of understanding. That's why he said, woe to you prophets and you pastors. He say, a man of understanding trusteth in the law. And the law is faithful unto him as an oracle. See? Beautiful. So, going back to Matthew 5 and 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, now you know, without shadow of a doubt, majority of these denominations or demon nations, these different religions that are set up on this earth saying that we're not under the law, but we under mercy and grace. That's a known fact. He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. That's why I say, woe to you prophets that speak vanity and lies. He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. So what you think you're going to be called? All you holy rollers out there that say you ain't under the law, you're under mercy and grace, and you're a Gentile, you've been grafted in. You got to speak in tongues, be filled with the Holy Ghost. Where you think you're going to be at? That's your doctrine. You following that, you're going to be called the least of the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, do and teach the laws of the Most High, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. That's where you want to be, called great in the kingdom of heaven. By teaching the law and doing the law. It ain't just about reading them and don't do them. You got to apply this. That's application of how you apply these laws in your life so that you can enter into the kingdom of heaven. See? That's beautiful. Powerful. So now, let's look more into the most important thing we got to do. Revelations, the third chapter. Revelation, the third chapter. And we're going to read the 5th verse. He that overcometh. Before we go here, let's go to, they say he that overcometh, right? So he that overcometh, what you got to overcome? You got to overcome the wiles of the devil. You got to overcome all the wickedness of this world. To follow the Most High's law, such commandments, have faith in the Most High by h.o.i, so that you can make it to the kingdom. Straight up. It says, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed with white raiment. And I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before the angels. That's very important. But you got to overcome the wickedness of this world. So a lot of times you got to leave your lust, which is mainly your desires, that cancels out your abilities for the Most High to bless you as he would, because you got to let your body be a living sacrifice. Some of you too into yourself. You can't see nothing but how is things going to please you. You got to let things go. Live and let it go. Become humble. That's too much to ask for, right? Because your pride is so high, and the Most High hate you because you're a prideful person that's poor. You hate a poor man that's prideful. What you got a right to be prideful for? Oh, I look good. I'm this, I'm that. Women say, I'm all this, thinking you all that. I mean, the Bible tells you a woman can have any man. All you got to do is lay down and open up your legs. That's what it tells you. Tell you a whole lot of things about that. And men, you think you all that. You ain't all that. As you think you are before the Most High. Because you know a few precepts. You think you all that. What's your seat in the 144,000? Which one are you or your tribe? But you all that. Who are you a part of the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel that's going to be redeemed? What number are you? Were you sitting on the chariots? You know your seat already? No, you don't know. Well, none of us know. Say the righteous scarcely going to be saved. But people all high-minded thinking they already dead. You ain't there. Most High told John the Baptist, I raised some stones to be my people. And what's sad is because, and what's scary is because the Most High ways and thoughts are not our ways and thoughts. Who gonna stand before the Most High and say, you said 1/3 gonna be there. You think I don't work to be there and I ain't there. You gonna say that? I don't think so. Don't get attitude with me. I'm just bringing the spirit. What do he say? Revelation 3 and 5. He that overcometh. That's serious. He that overcometh. You got to overcome this, yeah? All the things that this world offers in wickedness to send you to hell with it. You've been Edomitized, every last one of us, from birth. You got to always purge out the evil, the wickedness. So you're walking in righteousness and you don't hold things in. Now you can't get healed because you're too evil inside. You're not calm. You don't have the peace of a Mashiach Yahushua. You're drawing evil to you because you don't have that peace that he says he's going to give you. Now that's the world gives. The world don't know anything about this peace that he's talking about, Mashiach Yahushua, coming from the Most High. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. The world don't know anything about this peace. But if you have that peace, The things don't matter. This world, they say think of things, heavenly things. When you think about everything on the earth, your personal feelings. So I don't care about your personal feelings. He has no respect to persons, but he got respect to you, I guess. When he say he has no respect to persons, he got respect to us as a nation, the Israelites. That's it. That's why he said, Revelation 3 and 5, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment. White raiment, the white linen, going to be righteous of the saints. And I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. You got to overcome, people. This ain't something you can just think, oh, I already made it, because who's giving me an answer? Ain't nobody ever gave me an answer of your number of 144,000 men, or the tribe you from. What number are you at 144,000? The 12,000 of each tribe, or the 12,000, which number are you? You don't know. So we got to look at this for real, spiritually, and humble ourselves before the Most High humble you. Like I said, that mercy and grace is being lifted up. And all you pride people that think you all that or just can't be dealt with this way or that way, he going to put you to death, as it is written. Listen, that's what we say. He that overcome. What about them that don't overcome? They're going to be thrown in the lake of fire. Listen, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before the angels. That's judgment. Mashiach said you're going to confess your name before the Most High and before the angels. That's very important. Go to Luke, the 12th chapter. Luke 12 and verse 8. It says, Luke 12 and 8. Also, I say unto you, whosoever shall confess me before men. Like talking about a Mashiach Yahushua. Whoever can confess Mashiach before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of the Most High. He's going to confess you before the angel of the Most High. Same thing he's saying here. Matthew 10 and 32. Matthew 10:32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. See? He said, hey, you confess me before men, giving all praise and glory to the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. He's going to confess you before the Most High. That's how we reach the Most High. As I just said. Those that have ears to hear and eyes to see. Listen to what he said. But whosoever shall deny me before men, a lot of you don't believe in him. You deny him. Him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Will deny you before the Most High. So that's one that's, and listen to what it's saying. And I got to keep going back there so you would really, because I go there all the time, but people will not, how come you can't see this? You're going over the lesson. You're going over it, and I go to certain books and verses all the time. All the time, and you can't see it. That's why you got to really take heed to this. Because it's spiritual. And I find people now that are spiritual enough to realize there's nothing more important than your name being written in the book of life. Revelation 3 and 5 again. He that overcometh, the same shall be blotted, shall be clothed in white raiment. And I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. That's living forever and ever and ever. But I will confess his name before my Father and before the angels that we just read. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. That's what he says he's going to do. And once again, I got to make sure I remind you, because I didn't ask the question, and people haven't really locked into it. Let's find out. Once again, Revelation 20 and 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire, where the fire's never quenched and the worms never die. You're going to be burned up and worms will be eating you up continually. It's right here. He making sure you know it. Before you leave this Bible, he makes sure that you know this. Look. Revelations, the 13th chapter, verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. So they're going to worship the dragon, which is Satan, which is the devil, which is the serpent, Esau, all of that. The beast, power to the beast. The devil gave power to the beast. How? It's real simple. This don't take a rocket science to figure this one out. You can go to Matthew the 4th chapter or Luke the 4th chapter. We're going to go to Luke the 4th chapter to show you how they worshiping the beast. Worshiping the dragon or Satan or the devil. Real easy. Luke 4 and verse 5. It says, and the devil taking him, h.o.d.c, the anointed Savior, up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world at a moment of time. Hear that? He showed him all the kingdoms, including that kingdom that we're in now, all the kingdoms in the world in the moments of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me. The Most High delivered it unto him. Since we want to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, he gave it to Satan. And to whomsoever I will, I give it. Right? There's a condition. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. You'll be able to rule in these kingdoms. Right? And the Mashiach, every time that he said something to him, he went to the law of the Most High to rebuke the devil. But see, if you don't know, you ain't under the law, you can never rebuke the devil. Because you don't look at the examples that the Mashiach gave us that works. He did. Went to the law every single time. I'll give you a prime example, verse 8. And the Mashiach answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written. Well, look, okay, I'm going to show you something. He said, get thee behind me, Satan, right? So it says Satan here, right? Let's read verse 2. Mashiach being 40 days tempted of the devil. See? But here he calls the devil there. Now he calls him Satan. That's when you go to Revelations 12th chapter, you see the serpent, the dragon, the beast. You see, not the beast, but the devil and Satan. All combined to represent the same evil. And the beast too. So look. Verse 8, and the Mashiach answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan. This solution's here. He gives you a solution. For it is written. Where's it written? Where's it written? In the New Testament? No, because all he had was the law and the prophets. New Testament hadn't been written yet. As we have it now. Say, it is written, so where's it written at? So all you say you ain't got to deal with the Old Testament. The law, you ain't deal with the law. Where's it written? Let's see what's just written at. For it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Okay? So what are you quoting from? Deuteronomy 10 and 20. For example. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, him thou shalt serve, and to him shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. That's it. That's what he quoting. It is written. Deuteronomy 6 and 13. Deuteronomy 6 and 13. Thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power, your power, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. That's what he's quoting. So going back to Revelations 13 and 4, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. They worshiped the dragon, they worshiped the devil, Satan, that said, what'd he say? All this could be yours if you do what? Worship me. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? who's able to make war with him. Who's able to make war with who? The beast. So-called white man. America. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven, dwell right here on this earth, the Israelites. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. See? With the saints, the 12 tribes of Israel, and overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Who is that? Who is it that determines who can have nuclear power and who can't? Who can do this? Who brings sanctions on countries and so forth? War goes and so forth. You can't do nothing except for what I say you can do. Listen, verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life. Hear that? All that dwell on the earth going to worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. See? So they're going to worship him. And he come back with the judgment. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. See? So, you see here in verse 8, it says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. You have people that's worshiping him. You can't deny that, because, I mean, you open up the Bibles, you got the Most High as the so-called white man. Mashiach h.o.i didn't know to say who the world called Jesus Christ as a so-called white man. All the apostles are white. All the people in the book are white. So-called white. Edomites. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundations of the world. So they're going to be worshiping him. Sad, man, but it's real. It's sad, but it's real. Real as real could be. Looking up to him, ain't gonna be no remembrance of them, or him, or anything of this world, period. If you make it to the kingdom. Look at Daniel's, the 12th chapter. And this is hope, you know, that we have if you really spiritual enough to understand the message that's coming out. It's a time of Jacob's trouble. That's why I'm here. Daniel's 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. See, when that trouble come, it's only going to go so long. And then the Most High's people, the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be delivered. But who? Every one that shall be found written in the book. Every one that shall be found written in the book. See? And that's that book of life. That's people that's going to be delivered. The names, like he just said, you know, the sisters that helped him doing the work, their names written in the book of life. They did work. They put in some work. And all those that he was saluting and so forth, and all those that the Most High would have to be written in the book that are doing the work now. Look, go to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. And now let's read Daniel's 12 and 2 first. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, because their name written in the book of life. You see that life? That's the book of life. That's everlasting life. They're gonna wake up out of the dust of the earth, shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. But they're gonna be thrown in a lake of fire. Read you again. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. You gotta awake with new flesh. But that flesh then dissolved. But that spirit lives on. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Some to everlasting life, to judgment. Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So let's look at 2nd Ezra. That's the judgment. Life, you got a choice to choose life or death. 2nd Ezra 7 and 32. And the earth shall restore those that are asleep in her. And so shall the dust those that dwell in silence. What we just read. And the secret places shall deliver those souls that were committed unto them, like death and hell. And the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away. Hallelujah. And the long suffering shall have an end. But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand. What do you think the truth is? Truth shall stand, right? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So the laws of the Most High are going to stand. It's in judgment. And faith shall wax strong. Faith in the Most High, by some of my shall wax strong. And the work shall follow. The things that you've done in these mortal bodies, that we have done in these mortal bodies, going to follow. And a reward shall be showed. Hear that? A reward going to be showed. And the good deeds shall be of force, and the wicked deeds shall bear no rule. The good deeds gonna bear. That's what he gonna base you being saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate you, being delivered, going into the realm with the Mashiach Yahushua to be taught for 1,000 years. And the work shall follow. And the reward shall be showed. And the good deeds shall be of force. And the wicked deeds shall bear no rule. Say, that's beautiful. So, that's what we're looking at. Going into Revelations again. It's pretty clear. Prophecies are here. Revelation 13 and 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb. See? If your name not written in the book of life, these people are going to be worshiping. That's why you look at people going to church. They dealing with following and worshiping the so-called white man that set himself up to be the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua. You can't deny it. You know, the Bible says his picture's in it. Last Supper picture, Caesar Borgia, his mama, and his daddy, and his sister and brother, 5 people in that picture. They worshiping. I mean, they worship so much that I say, look at it, they can't even see it. Don't even look at it. Got it up in their houses, in the church, and so forth. That image of the beast. So, from there, let's look at Revelation 17th chapter. Now I want to look at Revelation 3 and 20. It says, behold, I stand at the door, Revelation 3 and 20, and knock. See, stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, and his sheep hear his voice, Hamashiach Yahushua's voice, and open the door as he's knocking to try and get your attention, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. Gonna be able to have supper with Hamashiach Yahushua, feeding you. Not only physical food, but spiritual food. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne. Remember he told you. In verse 5, he that overcometh, same shall be clothed with white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before the angels. Verses 3 and 21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, and am set down with my Father in his throne. See? You got to overcome the wickedness of this world by transforming your mind and your body and spirit into righteousness, being born again. Not doing the things that the world offers you to go to hell with it. Where you can be cast into the lake of fire where the worms never die and the fire's never quenched. He said it again. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. Hear what the Spirit is telling you, Israel. Now let's go to Revelation 17. Revelation 17, and we're going to book it at verse 17 and 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I said, why are you so mystified? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns. We know the 7 heads are the Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the French, the Germans, the Russians, the British. And the 10 horns are the e.u.c, the European Economic Community, or the European Community, or NATO, that support the 7 heads. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. That was the Romans, was not taken out of power in 193 AD. By Septimius Severus, ran into the Caucasus Mountains, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, coming out of the Caucasus Mountains, as the Ottoman Turks, 1453 to 1492, bringing forth the Renaissance period until now, ruling. The bottomless pit coming out of Europe. Ain't no natural resources over there, and going to petition, the man of petition, going to lying and telling people lies and in a condition of hell on this earth. And they shall dwell on the earth, shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Book's names not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Why? Because the Most High told you in Proverbs 16 and 4. You're supposed to already know this. Most High have made all things for himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. They're made for the day. They do what they're supposed to do. They're in order. They're in their proper order and doing what they're doing and feeling how they feel. And we know Job 9:24 says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the earth. If not, where and who is he? And I got the definition of Edom. In the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it says Edom, or Edomites. It says the nation and its people who were the descendants of Esau. It says Edom. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. See notably Isaiah 34, 5 and 6. They give you scriptures that prove that the judgment is going to come to Esau. So Esau will have to be ruling in the last days, the very last days. Isaiah 63 and 1 down. So giving you scriptures to back it up. Says she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. See? It says Idumea. Look up that. Pertaining to Edom. Greek and Roman name for Edom. See? So it's all here. Herod. Who was Herod? Idumean. Rulers of Palestine, 47 BC AD to 79 AD. See? So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is what they wrote. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. So, when we're looking at Revelation 17 and 8, we see there. So, their name not written in the book of life. So if your name is not written in the book of life because you following them, then you can look for the lake of fire. That's it. Simple as that. Go to Revelation. Go to the judgment. See, go to the judgment. Revelation 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High. Well, Mashiach Yahushua, because Mashiach Yahushua has been given the judgment, the judge for the Most High, the judgment of the Most High. It says, that's what you got to understand and realize. He told us. Go to St. John, the 5th chapter, verse 22. For the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father, which have sent him. See? So, the Most High has given him all the judgment. So, but he's judging according to the Most High. And the Most High is a righteous judge. So, Revelation 20 and 12, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. That's what we're talking about. The most important thing in life is that you work so that your name can be written in the book of life. You got the books, and you had a book of life. Read it again. Revelation 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the book. So you have books that the angels are recording everything that we do in these mortal bodies, according to their works, according to what you have done, or what we have done in these mortal bodies. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. Got to get those out of the sea. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. That's the secret places that we read about in the Apocrypha. And they were judged, every man according to their works. Hear that? Every man going to be judged according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Death and hell will be cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whoso was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. If your name not written in the book of life, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's why people are playing around thinking, oh, you could just do whatever you want to do, and you've been exposed.